We all talk about security and our digital footprint that is being left around everywhere and shopped by places like Google and Facebook. We talk about government tracking. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about what you can do to stop it. And this show probably is maybe 3 years ahead of its time. But in those 3 years, I fear we might all be saying to ourselves, why didn't I do that at the time? We've had to consult our legal team to make sure that we are not breaking any laws to show you the things that we're going to show you tonight. I want to show you both the good and the bad. I want to show you how to make yourself invisible on the internet, effectively ghosting yourself from prying eyes of Facebook or the government or, Google, or bad guys that just want to steal your identity. So, let's start with the government. How intrusive have they become? Well, if you ask Edward Snowden, the government is looking into everything that you do all times. If you ask the government, they claim that the FISA court actually protects and ensures that your privacy isn't invaded. But I guarantee you, everything is being recorded. Absolutely every keystroke. Here is the director of the National Intelligence, Dan Coats, putting your fear to rest.
We are committed to ensuring that the intelligence community's use of 702 is consistent with the law and the protection of the privacy and civil liberties of Americans. And to that end, in the nearly 10 years since Congress enacted the FAA, there have been no instances of intentional violations of Section 702.
No intentional violations of the FISA court. No abuse whatsoever. By the way, you know who is sitting next to D&I Coats? Andrew McCabe and Rob Rosenstein, the two men that presided over and signed off on using unverified dossiers of opposition research to spy on Carter Page and the president. I'm not sure if he cares to amend his statement, but the government is not the only one that is collecting information. Tech companies are surveilling you at the rate that would make the NSA salivate with envy. They are the worst offender. And the worst part of this is that we are freely signing our name to release all of our private information every time we click the little terms of service update every few months or so. There's no need for FISA court for companies like Facebook or Google. In the name of convenience, we happily sign away our privacy rights. And the worst part is, it's becoming worse and worse, and I believe soon will become dangerous. To quote a line from The Twilight Zone, you want to see something really scary? I want you to see this clip from Peter Schweizer's upcoming documentary that I believe everyone should see. It's called The Creepy Line. Watch.
They were getting a lot of information from people using the search engine, but if people went directly to a website, that's bad, because now Google doesn't know that. So they developed a browser, which is now the most widely used browser in the world, Chrome. By getting people to use Chrome, they were able now to collect information about every single website you visited, whether or not you were using their search engine. But of course, even that's not enough, right? Because people do a lot of things now on their mobile devices, on their computers, without using their browser. You want to know what people are doing even when they're not online. So Google developed an operating system, which is called Android, which on mobile devices is the dominant operating system. And Android records what we're doing even when we are not online. As soon as you connect to the internet, Android uploads to Google a complete history of where you've been that day, among many other things.
At this point, people will say, I'm not doing anything illegal. You may not be, and that's good. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about massive collection about every intimate detail of your life, all of our lives. Now, it makes no sense for me to tell you how bad this surveillance is. You can get that anywhere. The question is, what do you do about it? Words without action is really only a way to, in the end, get you addicted to outrage. We have told our elected officials that we do not approve, that our Constitution does not approve of this, and they do nothing about it. We've said the same thing about Facebook and Google, and we're not doing anything about it. So it falls on us to utilize modern-day technology to help ourselves. That is individualism and personal responsibility. Tonight, I want to take you to the dark web. I want to show you different things that you can do. Now, dark web kind of sounds scary. Some people think it's complicated and over most people's heads. But this is a time where you have to decide if you want companies like Google having 3 million pages of information on each of us. Now, we're going to show you some of the technical hurdles, and it's just a little technical hurdle. But I first want to address the stigma surrounding why everyone instantly goes, ooh, dark web. To set it up, I want to show you a conversation between Joe Rogan and Elon Musk on artificial intelligence. Watch. This is a pretty dramatic change of perspective for how Musk views AI. This is why he says he's going to Mars, because he believes once it is unleashed, it will destroy what we have built. It's a pretty fatalistic approach, but he says that's why I'm sending a rocket to Mars with people on it, because it's the only way I can have hope and get up in the morning.